It's Packers week. Vikings versus Packers at Lambeau Field. Vikings on an absolute heater trying to go 4-0. Them along with the Buffalo Bills, the two hottest teams in the league. But it's time to refocus as this video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. Vikings, despite them kicking all sorts of ass, they are 3-point underdogs. Okay, whatever. And the talk of this game, for the most part, I can just see it right now, is going to be, are the Packers, are they going to play Jordan Love? Is he going to be healthy enough to play? He's trending towards playing, or is it all smoke and mirrors to get the Vikings off guard? And are they going to end up playing Malik Willis? I don't even give a damn about that. Whether it's Jordan Love or Malik Willis, I'm taking the Vikings to get this win. Because the key matchup for me is a coaching showdown. Brian Flores versus Matt LaFleur. LaFleur, well-respected across the league, obviously. Flores, he's also been respected too, but I would say based off of his performance so far in this early season, he has elevated himself to the likes of, I would say, Wayne Brady in the Chappelle Show skit years ago, whereas LaFleur sitting there minding his own business, chilling, and Flores pulls up. "Break yourself, fool." And LaFleur goes, "Oh, snap, it's Brian Flores, son." The Packers have the fifth best offense, and that's with both Jordan Love and Malik Willis at quarterback. However, the bulk of their damage offensively has been done on the ground. They have the number one rushing offense, third fewest pass attempts in the league, number one in rush attempts. However, it's a bit of smoke and mirrors. If you run with that stat, you're going to think that the Packers are simply the second coming of a Jim Harbaugh 49ers-led team or Mike Zimmer-led team where run, pass, defense, defense, defense. That hasn't been the case because with Jordan Love, before he got hurt, the game he got hurt against the Philadelphia Eagles week 1, he had 34 pass attempts. Malik Willis, who has served as the starting quarterback the last two games, 33 pass attempts combined. So with Malik Willis, Matt LaFleur, and the Packers, they want to play it safe. With Jordan Love, even if Jordan Love ends up playing, if they want to pick up where they left off as far as against Philadelphia and he's going to have 30-plus attempts, you got to remember he's had 2 games off, didn't look great against the Eagles, had a turnover and completed only 50% of his passes, and now you're going up against the fire that is a Brian Flores-led defense, and make no mistake about it. If you as a Packers fan want to sit there and say, yeah, well, look at what Jordan Love did last year to a Brian Flores-led defense, albeit Jordan Love went all the way off. This is a different defense, okay? The personnel has been flipped upside down with the pass rushers, with Blake Cashman as an inside linebacker. You have, my goodness, as far as just with this team alone, you have 2 players that would qualify, at least maybe even 3 players if you include Josh Metellus, but definitely 2 players, edge rushers, that would qualify as the team defensive player of the year in Jonathan Grenard and Andrew Van Ginkel. The personnel is totally different compared to last year. Harrison Phillips is playing like a true nose tackle. So if you think it's the same as what it was in 2023, you've got another thing coming. Malik Willis or Jordan Love, I think he is going to turn out to be a good player. He had a hell of a second half last year, but I think at this present moment, even if he does play, he's going to be trying to get his footing in order, his bearings, if you will, because he didn't look good against Philadelphia. 2 games off since then, coming back from injury. Why should we expect for him to all of a sudden to light it up on the football field? We're going to get to the Vikings offense versus the Packers defense, but first, Sign up for BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. Get a 150% bonus on your first deposit and a 125% bonus on your next two deposits up to $2,000. Just use the promo code YouTube150. Right now, Sam Darnold plus 1,800 to win MVP. And if you want to take that bet right now, I wouldn't even blame you, because through the first 3 weeks of this football season, Sam Darnold is leading the league in touchdown passes. We'll see how it goes the rest of the year, but plus 1,800, not bad. And before we get to the offense, actually, let's go over this injury report. So for the Vikings, Garrett Bradbury and Ivan Pace Jr., DNPs. Jordan Addison, we'll see if he comes back, LP. Jonathan Bullard, Camus Grazier Hill, also an LP. Josh Oliver, Dallas Turner, LPs as well. So that's a bit concerning. I would imagine that Brian Asamoah would have to fill in at inside linebacker next to Blake Cashman in the event that Ivan Pace Jr. and Grazier Hill are unable to play in this one. On the Packers side, they've got Jair Alexander, Kenny Clark, Jordan Love, we talked about him, Luke Musgrave, Josh Myers, their center, Jaden Reed, Zach Tom, Carrington Valentine, all listed as limited participants. But going back to the Vikings side, there's no mention of Brian O'Neill, which is good stuff right there. If you remember, at some point he got banged up during the Texans game, and Kessenberry had to come in filling for the injured 75. Apparently he's good to go. Also good to go, Sam Darnold listed as a full participant. It was a bit dicey there when he went down with that leg injury, but missed just one play and came back in. All right, we're in a good spot. For this Vikings offense, I think the key matchup here is Kenny Clark versus Garrett Bradbury, or in the event, because Bradbury is a DNP so far anyway, in the event that he can't play, Kenny Clark versus Dan Feeney. I will say, in Bradbury's defense, it's a bit of a yin and yang situation as far as him versus big name interior defensive lineman. Week 1 against the Giants, Dexter Lawrence, he was downright awful. Week 2 against the Niners, Javon Hargrave didn't really do much of anything. So with that said, Kenny Clark has been the kryptonite to Garrett Bradbury for his entire career. So that's the key matchup for the offense. Also, the run game versus the Packers front seven. The Packers have the 10th best run defense. However, the last two games against San Francisco and Houston, Minnesota has 264 rushing yards combined. In which case, both of those teams, talked about Green Bay, 10th best against the run. Houston and San Francisco are better than Green Bay versus the run. I have no doubt that the Vikings will get off on the ground also against the Packers. By the way, I haven't mentioned this enough. Definitely during the live stream several times, but not during the standard videos. The run blocking this year by the Vikings offensive line has been absolutely elite. I mean, I know that Aaron Jones, who, by the way, he's seeking his revenge game against Green Bay. He's a better running back than Alexander Mattison, sure, but the run blocking has been so much better compared to last year. It's been like night and day. Set Hut, and my God, the amount of lanes that get created off of the snap to where Aaron Jones gets untouched by the time that he finally faces any sort of contact through these first 3 games. For the most part, it's at the second level. It's been incredible. Aaron Jones wants to show the Packers why they were wrong in not bringing him back. Then you get to Sam Darnold, who we have to also, it's not just Sam Darnold, it's Sam Darnold with the play calling of KOC. You've got Justin Jefferson. You've got Jalen Naylor. I mean, if Jordan Addison can finally make his return, that's a bonus. You're going up against a secondary that I think can be had. Jair Alexander is massively overrated. I understand he has 2 interceptions on the year, got a pick 6 last week. Good for him. But you got a pick 6 against Will Levis. I mean, what are we talking about here? And quite honestly, every single game against the Packers, specifically Jair Alexander, it's like I'm rooting for your downfall. The Packers, it's a fun rivalry for me. I don't take it personal. But Jair Alexander, I think, is a pompous ass. I think he's clearly insecure about Justin Jefferson. He had that one game where I can't remember what year it was. Maybe it was 2 years ago, or maybe the last year of Mike Zimmer. I'm not sure, but the one game he had at Lambeau Field, it was a night game. Jair Alexander, when the Packers secondary was bracketing Justin Jefferson, they were double, triple teaming 18, and he made a play against Justin Jefferson and just doing the gritty and all that stuff. And that's all well and good, but clearly you get up. There's an extra element to your play, or not even to your play, because I think you're ass, quite honestly. You're massively overrated. But there's something about playing Justin Jefferson, who's never said anything to you, about you, doesn't even really care that you even exist as a football player, but you get up for that game. You get hyped up. You shake your ass. So every chance that I can watch Jair Alexander suck ass on the football field, I revel in it. And for Sam Darnold, you've gone up against good secondaries with San Francisco, with the Houston Texans. You can do the same here, even though this time it's going to be on the road. You also have to keep in mind their edge rushers in Rashawn Gary and Preston Smith. However, against our offensive tackles, we say this every single week, I believe in these guys. They're going to hold up their end of the bargain. There's only a few edge rushers, pass rushers, that I think can really take on our offensive tackles in Darisaw and Brian O'Neill. And as good as the Packers are in that department, I don't think they meet that level against our guys, respectfully. I'm going to say the Vikings win this game. They go to 4-0. They win this game 27-17. Your thoughts in the comments section below. Live stream will be 15 minutes before the start of Vikings versus Packers. Have a watch party the entire time. Again, shout out to the folks at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. We'll see you next time.